Very good. Well, she's already eaten half the sandwich, so when do you want her to eat that? Well, say it again. Yeah, put a little bit on a plate, put some salt and pepper on it. It's very good. I had some for lunch yesterday. Good, that's a good attitude. Thank you. No, she just said she's gonna try it. Just, it's okay, it's good. No. No. Hi, Sarah.
Unmute. There we go. Hi. I know we already have been to Mix, but I thought I would pop in case there was anything else. There we go.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through the info, show a program, show a video, answer questions, just some opportunity. I don't know if anyone else is going to show up or not, so we'll see.
Has anybody signed up besides Tommy and your kid?
Yes.
Okay.
Soren, Tommy should know Soren from youth group. Soren, Bleed, and Tommy, and my daughter Alana, and then I have Evelyn is interested. She hasn't officially signed up. I know, Ryan, I know. And possibly Evelyn, and I can't think about what her last name is. What grade is she in, Alana?
Gil?
6th? Yeah, I think she's in 5th. She's younger.
Yeah. I know I talked to Sarah Stuckey of, oh gosh, it was a few weeks back now. Maybe it was October. She was asking for her son Landon, who is 3 years younger than Tommy, I think.
Okay.
Grade.
I think I sent home a flyer with him at Den 56.
Okay.
So I'll follow up with them. That's good.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the middle of the meeting. I think that's what a lot of this is going to be, is just I'm going to have to kind of, you know, call some people and talk one-on-one. And
yeah. Well, I know that Sarah Stuckey is a teacher, and her worlds are just really insane right now.
Yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are your kids handling everything?
They're doing well. Tommy really enjoys being in school. So that's been I mean, he does fine either way, but just that, getting into science and having experiments and all of that. So he really has enjoyed that. Allison, she couldn't really care either way.
Yeah.
But that's just the way, she's less of an extrovert, she's more tucked inside. So having that private, your own space for school is fine with her.
Yeah. Yeah. My kids, okay, thank you. My kids are the same. They like being in school. They like being hands-on.
Yeah.
The same. So we're struggling a little bit here.
Yeah. My feeling is they're going to extend for the schools to be out through till Christmas, because it's only a week and a half after the pause period.
Yeah, right. Like, what's the point of going for 3 days, essentially? I thought about that too.
Yeah. At least that seems to be the school district's MO, is just take it really cautious.
Yeah, my niece is in Jackson schools, and they've said they're going to stay virtual till January 14th.
Oh, wow. So a couple weeks after.
Yeah, because I'm guessing it's after the holiday, so giving that period of waiting times, what my guess is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I felt like my kids have been safe this whole time. Tommy even riding the bus, and
yeah,
there's not been a concern on that front. So
no, same thing. My kids have taken the bus, and Leanne, I need you to be quiet. And like Leanne was in basketball tryouts and everything, so at the high school. So yeah, same thing. I felt good about it, or as good as you can about it.
Yeah. Allison did marching band, so they were able to get through what their regular season would have been. So that's good. And Tommy has gymnastics over at Gym America, and they've had safety protocols and cleaning and masks, and they've done really well there too. So
yeah.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
We'll wait another minute. I was just telling Sarah, we'll just do some basic, go through the details kind of thing, and an opportunity to answer questions.
Okay.
So,
Let me get it. I'll be right back.
yeah. Emma. Okay, so her daughter. Oh, actually, here comes a couple more people. That's good.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I was saying I had no idea what to expect, but I knew I needed to offer as close face-to-face as we can get. So. Okay, so Kristen, your daughter is Emma, right?
And then Nick would be going too, because he's in 5th grade.
Okay, excellent. Okay, thank you. Oh, and Paul, okay, got it. Okay. Carol, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and you have Paul, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to offer an opportunity to talk about this. I know it's a big trip for a young age, so I felt the need to talk about it. I want to just go through some basic details. I'll share my screen with you and show you some information. If your if your children are with you and they want to sit and watch and listen to that, they're totally welcome. Mine are here and they're gonna try to be quiet because my younger ones are 5th and 6th grade as well. Now, Sarah, which one of your kids has been to mix before?
So Allison went to mix several years. So I guess the last year she would have been the right age. And
Right.
Tommy went summer of 2019.
Okay, great.
So
Okay.
his biggest concern was the late nights, I feel like.
Same. So that is one thing that it is a very long day and they are very active the entire day. Almost on overload kind of point. I'm very surprised for this younger age that they're so long. So now I've never been. I've been to events that are similar. I actually used to run conferences for youth all across the country. So I understand the basic context and the formula, of course. It's the same formula for everything. Jay left me all of his notes and everything about how he ran the trips. And we will be running them very similar until I've experienced it myself. And then, you know, the summer after we can tweak it and whatnot is needed. But it'll be run pretty much the same. I'm going to do a screen share and show you some of the basic info. Okay, so this is all on our website. If you go under youth ministries, it's under summer trips. So it is a middle school trip. So that means if your student is currently in 5th grade, 6th grade, or 7th grade, by next summer, they'll be going into middle school. So 5th grade feels young to me, some of these students, but they will be in middle school by next summer. So that's why they are qualified. It is shorter than the high school trip. It is only 4 days, plus a travel day. So it's kind of misleading. It's 4 days of program plus a travel day. This year it is the first week of August, and it is at the same location where it's been at Hope College. So they stay in the housing there, they use the gyms there, they use the auditorium, the dining services. everything. They get to have a little bit of a college experience. And Hope College is in Holland. It's one of a Christian college there. It's not too far away from like downtown Holland. So the advantage of this being for middle schoolers is that it really is age appropriate. It really is geared towards this age. So even though, yes, they're long days and late nights, one more person coming in. All right, so even though it is long days and everything, they do try to put the programming towards the middle school age. So things that are more high school topics or more high school level is saved for the high school trip. They really gear it towards the middle school, which I appreciate. Some places combine ages, and I don't think that's the best approach. So I'm glad that this trip is just middle school. The pricing is $330 per student. That is almost all inclusive. So that's the travel, which using the church van and the gas, I don't think we'll have to rent another vehicle. It is the housing on campus, all their meals on campus, and all the programs and activities. The only thing they'll need extra money for is if we stop on the way at McDonald's or something, you know, traveling, if they want to buy a t-shirt, you know, from the event. And then there's one afternoon where they have traditionally gone downtown Holland, wandered the stores, the coffee shops and stuff like that. So their own spending money for that. We do offer scholarships. So don't ever with anything, this is youth ministry in general at this church, don't let money ever stand in the way, okay? Scholarships are available, it's confidential. Money should never stand in the way of Jesus, right? Fundraising is happening as we speak, actually, and we do ask everybody to participate in that. That's how things like gas money and scholarships and a dinner out, there's one night where we eat a dinner out, all of that is paid for out of that fundraising money. I'll come back to fundraising in a minute. So what is due now financially is a $65 deposit and the registration form, which is all through church. It's the church's registration form. That is due December 1st, which is Tuesday. If you cannot do that by Tuesday, just let me know, we can figure it out. And that is non-refundable. That $65 is non-refundable because it goes right to the organization. The balance will be due February 1st. So that balance of $265. Now, the tricky part of this is 65 of that balance is also non-refundable once it's paid. And those are all because of the organization's policies. That may be different than in the past. For those of you that have had youth go in the past, they changed their financial policies because 2020, they lost so much money because all of us churches asked for our money back. So that is a change, brand new. The 265 is refundable. So if, God forbid, we're still in Corona and the event is canceled, or their church decides not to go, or you decide not to go, the initial 65 and the second balance of 65 are non-refundable. What you will get back is the 200 of that in addition. Does that make sense? Okay. So unfortunately, it's kind of like you got to take a risk. And at what point, you know, if you decide January 1st, I'm out, then you're only out $65. After February 1st, you're out whatever 65 times 2 is, 130. If space is available, you can register after, but I don't know if we're gonna reserve extra spaces for this trip because the church is then held financially liable for that. I will say for those of you that have high school students, I do still have 2 spaces. For that event, we did reserve extra spaces. So if you have high school students, I have 2 spaces open for that. Okay, so how you sign up is you go to that our website, the church website, okay, which is on the screen. There's a mixed registration form you have to fill out. You have to pay that $65 deposit. And then there's a youth info form as well, which you need to fill out. And those are all our internal forms. Like those all are for the church forms. And then I take us as a group and I will register us as a group with CIY. Christ in Youth is the organization that runs this event. So, okay. My email and phone number and everything are right on there. You can always text or call about anything. Now, initially we had said that we have to have a minimum of 8 students to attend. The reason for that is you want a decent group, right? You want to be able to have a group experience, the group energy, the dynamics of a group. You want to be able to have the conversations and the interaction that goes with a group. And also the time for a parent or for myself to take away how many days to go on this trip, you know, it has to be weighted out. So we have set a minimum of 8. Right now, I have 3 for sure, 5 tentative youth. So if we hit close to that 8, I think it's going to be a go. What else? Oh, if you pay that $65 deposit on Tuesday, and for some reason we don't have 8, and I'll know that within a week, you will get that 65 back because we would not have registered yet with CIY. Is that clear? So once we register with CIY, that 65 is not refundable. But until we know how many kids we're talking about, you know, it is. Okay. Okay. Move is the high school trip. We can always talk about that if any of you have questions on that one. Okay. Oh, I mentioned fundraising. Okay, so this year's fundraising is like with COVID and with the church being shut down, different than ever before. Traditionally, we have these rummage sales, which fund a lot of our trips. Because we're not having rummage sales this year, we've had to do other things. So where we're at right now is the church has gifted us $1,000 to make up for one of the rummage sales. So that's very generous, like out of the church budget, they've given us $1,000. We're in the middle of the Zippy car wash right now. And what that is we're selling Zippy car wash gift certificates. And it's an amazing fundraiser because all we have to do is sell them. And we get 50% of the profit. So out of the $12 they're sold for, we get 6. It's like, this is one that, and we've done this now, I think this is the 3rd year our church has done this. How we're selling them is we have these Advent events in December. So we'll have a table set up there. People can contact the office and get them from the church office, or also families involved. You know, if you know grandma wants one and auntie wants one and you're gonna buy some for teacher gifts, you know, you can sell them on your own. Tell me how many you're selling and we'll work out the details. So it's super easy.
Do you have a plan on having a table the nights of the light thing?
On the 4th, so next Friday during the kickoff of that, yes. Yep. So if you don't want to sell them as a family, like on your own, you know, hit up friends and family, you can volunteer to help with one of those tables.
Okay.
And I have a whole form to sign up. if you can't do any of those, then you can do the fundraiser in the spring, which is to be determined. So
Little Caesar's Pizza Kit.
I've heard that one before. Those are good ones.
Easy, and they're so good.
So yeah, so we'll figure it out. And I don't know. Have you guys ever helped with the rummage sales before?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when the time comes what happens. Chaperones. Okay, myself, I'm the female chaperone right now. I need a male chaperone. So if you have a male in your life who would be willing to chaperone, and they do not have to pay, because that's what part of this fundraising is for as well, is for chaperone expenses. So if you have a male in your life who would like to chaperone, please, please let me know. That is a requirement. We have to have one of each gender. And then the more kids we have, the more chaperones we have to have, of course. But I think we're going to be good with one male, one female. Just so you know, all of our chaperones do have to be background checked and go through our Safe Sanctuaries course at the church, just for all the safety. And then there's forms through CIY that they have to fill out also. So CIY is covering themselves as well. Okay, those are the basics. What questions do you have for me? Let's move on to that.
Are there other events going on at the church, at the college at that same time? Like, is there also a high school one somewhere else? And
Okay, there's not a high school event at the same time. Those events are earlier in the summer. Now, there may be smaller events like sports camps,
okay.
and the colleges itself, they're like sports trainings may be going on, but we have designated space for this organization.
Okay.
So they're not going to be right next door in a dorm with, you know, the baseball team.
Okay.
So but they will be going on campus in their own space.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's a good safety question. We're going to be taking the church van. What else?
How many does the van seat?
It is a 12 passenger. Okay, let me keep going. It is a 12 passenger. A lot of the details of stuff, to be honest, are going to have to wait till the spring to figure out. If we're still social distancing and we need to sit every other seatbelt or something, then maybe we'll need to take another van. Or maybe, like, I have a minivan. Maybe I drive my minivan and the other chaperone drives the church van or something. I kind of have in my head all this plan A and then plan B with COVID. So, and in the past, when they've filled the van, they have had to take a trailer. But I don't think we're going to have to do that. It's a pretty big van, and I will be pretty strict on luggage. So there's no need for 10 bags per child. So
How are rooms? I mean, is it like dorm style where there's like a bunch of, all the girls are in one room, or is it like 2 to a room?
yeah, so when we register, after they figure out their housing assignments, CIY does all of that. They'll contact us and tell us what style room we're in.
Oh, okay.
So are we in, no, they're not 2 bedroom, they're not 2 people per room. They're a minimum of 4 per room. And are they in a traditional dorm, you know, with a hallway with walls, or are they in like these pods? Some of the dorms are like set up pod style. So Sarah, do you remember what the housing was like when your children went?
Tommy had one roommate, and I believe Allison had one roommate, but they had a kind of an adjoining room with, there was another girl who, there was one girl who couldn't go, who was supposed to room with this third girl. And so they kind of got in trouble for pulling the third girl's bed into their area. It might have been where they were a max of 2 kids per room.
Okay.
But that's just the way theirs were. And I know the girls were in air conditioning and the boys were not. But But yeah, I know Tommy, they each only had one person that was technically in their room with them.
Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to ask on that. I did hear the air conditioning stories and that the boys brought fans with them. So when we get like our housing assignments, we'll know more about that. If someone has a family member that ends up volunteering to chaperone, that also means that the family members are put together. So for instance, my daughter will most likely be in my room, kind of thing. So, okay. What other questions?
What does their day typically look like? You said it's very filled. Sounds like the Toronto trip for 6th graders.
I'm recording it, Ryan, so you can watch it when you get back. Go ahead. Yes, let me pull up. I have here. If you can see my screen, this is their website. Go ahead, buddy. Have fun. Sorry. So day 1, which is August 1st, we'll leave church in the morning. We'll travel. We'll stop and have lunch. Check-in is in the afternoon. And then you see that the main sessions are at night. And then group time is like our small group time. That's our church time to sit and talk and process. And as you see, I mean, in the dorms is not until 10:30 at night. Like, that means like in your room, getting ready for bed. So, I mean, my middle schoolers don't stay up that late, but, and then day 2, breakfast bright and early. Those sessions, so let me describe the sessions for you. The sessions are like in the auditorium. You can see some of the pictures on the website, the bands, the speakers, the lights, the music, the on-stage events. That's what session is those on-stage events. Outer realm is the game time, and stage games, it's just that they play stuff as large groups from the stage. Dinner, nighttime main sessions, and then again, lights out, not till 10:30. So you think about it, that they're going from breakfast at 7:30 in the morning, pretty much all till lights out at 10:30. I will try to build in, see during the free time, you have like an afternoon free time, just like half an hour of downtime. Like, just go sit in your bed. You don't have to sleep. Sit in your bed and be quiet, okay? I don't care if you want to read a book or you want to color, but just some downtime, I think, is really healthy for kids too. If we can't do it in the dorms, maybe it's something where we just go sit under a tree, you know, or something. So I will do my best to build in a little bit of downtime, because I don't want cranky kids either on the trip, right? I'm a mom, I don't want cranky kids. And then here's the next day, and it's very similar. Here, this one has some afternoon organized games instead of free time. So they have dodgeball, they have zombies, you know, that kind of thing. And that night is even later. Look at that, 11 o'clock. I know, it's long. And then the last day, when it says skip a meal, what that is they encourage us to either skip a meal in terms of fasting and go through that process, or go into town and get a meal to support that economy, a community kind of connection. So we will be going to get a meal. So, and then there's a tournament in the afternoon, and then the last session that night. So the event ends on day 4 at lights out is 10:30. We then the next morning will pack up and head home. The one thing I didn't mention is that one of the reasons on day 1 that we leave before lunch is because we have traditionally spent the afternoon at the beach. So they like get lunch and go to the beach, or take a lunch and go to the beach, something like that. And then do the check-in, 3 o'clock or whatnot. So,
I'm sorry, you said it's on day 1?
yes, yeah, I skipped that, sorry. That's why we leave in the morning of day 1. Now, I'm assuming the reason that Jay did that was because by coming home, they're so exhausted when you look at that schedule. So, so what would be day 5 is actually like pack up, clean your dorm, drive home. I'm guessing that, sorry, you need to put on a sweatshirt or a coat or something if you're gonna be outside, please. I lost my train of thought, sorry. Working from home, isn't it lovely? Yeah, so I'm guessing we would be home early afternoon at the latest. So, yeah. And again, all of this is right on the website, but they are long days. But all the kids who have gone before, and like the high school kids who have filled me in on stuff, because I've been picking their brains, they all said they would go again in a heartbeat. And they all sign up for the high school trip because they have such an amazing experience. One of our confirmation students, if you know Donovan Gillow at all, he wrote his faith statement for confirmation about his experience at Mix and how he felt for the first time he genuinely encountered Christ, like in a really hands-on emotional way, and worshiped genuinely with his full heart for the first time at Mix. And this is a 9th grade boy telling me this. So for a 9th grade boy to be sharing how this was pivotal in his faith journey, that right there says to me, well, we need to try it, right? It's got value. It's incredible. So I'm excited. I'm excited by it.
What is their policy on electronics?
Yeah. So when you are at the event, cell phones, I think they just have to have their cell phones on them. I will tell you the youth group policy with cell phones is they're allowed to have them, but they're not allowed to be on them during worship or message time.
Okay,
So
my kids way, so
yeah. So if yeah, it tends to be a problem with the older kids, but if it is worship time or if someone is preaching time, the phones go away. And that's just a pure respect thing. And they have been really good. I've been pretty strict about it, and they've been really good about it on Sunday nights. So that same expectation will be upheld. If they have free time and they want to be on them, I don't have a problem. Now, electronics like, Nintendo Switches or the handheld video games or whatnot, iPads, this is what I'll say about them. They have value during the drive. Okay, you have a couple hours drive to and from, they have value. But I would be concerned about sending something that expensive to what is essentially a college dorm full of teenagers.
yeah.
That would be more my concern. And really, as you see, there's not going to be time to use them. They won't need them. They won't miss them. Coming from a camp background, where we don't have electronics, period, the kids, the first day they miss them, the second day they don't. They'll whine the first day, and then after that, they get over it. And because they're thrown into an experience that is unlike anything else.
Okay. Good.
They use the cell phones for communication, like if they were in different groups that kind of spread out around the campus, just to touch base and so forth during the day. I know that I can't remember if my son brought a device, but I know my daughter said that was something that was important for them when they kind of split up, because Move is a much bigger group anyway than
yeah. Yes, that's good to know. I do not imagine us going beyond 2 groups. So if we need to split up into small groups for something like free time, I really picture one chaperone taking one group, one chaperone taking the other group. you know, and whether that breaks down by gender or it breaks down by high activity and low activity, you know, I won't know till we get to know the group. But I don't really see us breaking down beyond that, especially if there's only 8 students. So, good. And we'll have all of these expectations typed out. And as a group, like we will meet in the spring as a group and we'll come up with a group covenant. Like these are our promises to each other about behavior, about expectations, about things like electronics, things like language even, you know, and the group will come up on their own with group expectations, and we'll all sign the covenant. And so it will be actually in writing, and this youth will be expected to participate in creating that and signing that. And covenants have worked really well with youth groups in the past. So
Is that doing at your normal underground stuff time frame or at a separate stuff? Because you know, Emma doesn't go to underground because she's also at our other church on Sunday nights. So
no, I think we will have it separate because I want time with this travel group in and of themselves, because we're going to have our own dynamics and our own personalities. And some of these younger youth, you know, I'm looking at my list, I don't know because I don't see them on Sunday nights or whatnot. So those will be an additional expectation, I guess, if you will. I can possibly, you know, Kaylee and I coordinate stuff. So maybe we can connect it to a Den 56 event or something like that. Yeah. I think I only have the 2 boys, Tommy and Soren, who are they would be the older ones who aren't in Den 56.
And Emma.
So, yeah. What grade is Emma in?
7th.
Yeah. Okay.
And Emma, one of Emma's friends might come too. So Mira that comes to 56, but I got to follow up with them.
Okay. Yeah. And that covenant would include things like participation. And I'll say that because there are kids that come to Den 56 who don't participate, quite frankly. And, you know, this is a really tight bonding event, and you've got to become kind of a team when you go on these kinds of things together. So that will be a very clear expectation.
Okay.
I'm not expecting you to be an extrovert. That's what I always tell them, because I'm not, but I do expect you to participate. There's all kinds of videos on here. I won't go through them all then. Like, you guys can look them up if you want. The website is ciy.com, and you'll see the mix option, and we're Michigan. It's the only Michigan one they do. And there's all kinds of videos. So if you want to sit down with your child and show them like what a worship looks like or what the games look like, they're on here, and they're really, right here, there's a whole bunch of them under promotions. So that kind of give a good feel to it. Mix tends to be a little bit wackier, again, because it's middle school age, you know, like they'll play the toilet paper games, you know, and they're playing the zombie games, you know, stuff like that. So just a little bit fun. The high school event tends to do less wacky stuff. They still do games and everything, but maybe a little less wacky, I guess would be how I describe it. But you can see all the. One of the things I really like about this organization is that they do a really good mix of like in-person, oh, hi, kitty. It's our new kitty who likes to be on my computer. They do a good mix of like high energy, low energy, technology, in person. So you're not staring at someone preaching for, you know, an hour. You're not singing all slow songs for an hour. They really mix it up. I experienced that this summer when we were going to do one of their events at our church and going through their program and stuff. It was pretty impressive. Okay. What other questions? Carol, do you and Paul have any questions?
Well, I need to talk to his parents
Yes.
and give them all this information. So
Okay.
we're on the
So-
fence about it.
Yeah. Just so you know, so I am recording this Zoom meeting with all our information and stuff on it, and I will post it to our YouTube, which is all linked on the website. So Carol, if they want to go and listen to this meeting or check out the website, all of that will be on, I'll post this actual video on YouTube, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So I think, like, I'm looking at the list, and all of your kids will know each other then, because they're all familiar with, and even with Tommy being a little bit older, he knows Soren. So that's a great, we don't have to like start at square one. That'll be great.
Oh, one thing, just so everybody knows, that the kids love the food. So there were no complaints. You could get Lucky Charms at any meal if you really needed it. But that was something both of my kids, you know, because they tend to be a little particular about what they eat. So
Yeah. No, that's great. I have heard that. I think that they think that dorm life is like this event, and then so they'll go to college, and you know, it must be a great recruiter event for Hope College. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous out there, and I don't know if you've ever been to Holland, but it's the cutest little town, and like I said, I've done these trips. Like my history is, you know, 20 plus years of youth ministry, and I've done everything with mission trips and taking kids camping and to these conferences, and they're impactful. And how much the kids put into it is how much they get out of it. You know, if they really throw themselves in spiritually and engage spiritually, that's what they will get out of it. Like God will meet them right where they are, and that's incredible. And if they don't, if they still have walls up and or they're not to that mature level yet, they will still have fun, you know, and they will make friends, and those seeds will be planted for future. I really do believe that even the seeds will be planted.
I was excited when my kid came home, like, I want to go to this. I was like, okay.
well, my
Yes.
husband just stepped in and said that he'd be willing to volunteer to go. So
Yay. Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk.
he was supposed to go to Toronto with Tommy last spring, and so that got canceled. So
Yes. Okay, we'll talk about that. What else? Any other questions? Do your kids have any questions? Okay. I encourage you to go through that CIY website, and on our church website has all the links and everything as well. And text or call me anytime with questions, okay? I'm working from home, as you know, for the next week at least. So if you need me, you can reach out like that or email me or whatever, okay? Okay, awesome. So as you're processing and you're thinking things through, if you cannot do the Tuesday, December 1st deadline, just give me a heads up, okay? Because I can always reserve your spot for you for when that is. Oh, the other thing I will say is if you want to give this as a Christmas gift, okay, I will make you a little certificate that you can put under the tree. So I highly believe in experiential gifts. I think that they're wonderful. Kids don't need one more, you know, toy to clutter the room. So if you want to make this a Christmas gift, I can keep it confidential, and I can get you a little certificate to put under the tree. Just let me know. Okay? Okay.
Thanks.
Yes, Carol, thanks for joining us. And you guys, thank you so much. Just holler if you have any questions, okay?
Okay. Have a good one.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.